BNSF Railway. Supported by the Rockefeller Foundation, promoting the well-being of humanity around the world by building resilience and inclusive economies. More at rockefellerfoundation.org. And with the ongoing support of these individuals and institutions. This program was made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
You're watching PBS.
Local telecast of the PBS NewsHour is provided in part by
the New Mexico Humanities Council, seeking to understand who we were, who we are, and who we hope to be. The New Mexico Humanities Council, proud to support public and interpretive programs throughout New Mexico.
On Masterpiece.
We are all fighting in our own way to prevent an even worse time to come.
This is a dangerous time to become the subject of gossip.
Starring Francesca Annis and Samantha Bond. Home Fires on Masterpiece.
Sunday at 8 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
I'm Rick Steves. Join me in Italy's Tuscany and Umbria, where we'll explore the traditions of the countryside. From feeding the pigs and tasting prosciutto to stone-grinding polenta. We'll dine with the noble family, taste some of Tuscany's finest wines, and savor Florentine steak before retracing the steps of St. Francis in Assisi.
Sunday at 2:30 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
People who swear, people who shout uncontrollably. Is that the common presentation? That's not what you had, Pete.
I just remember kind of moving my eyes. I was, blinking a lot.
We do see certain kinds of disorders or traits that run in families of patients who have Tourette syndrome.
It doesn't define me, honestly, as an individual.
It's time to take charge of your health care. I'm Dr. Peter Salgo. Join us this week for Second Opinion.
Sunday at 1:30 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
There's a lot of value in public media in that it brings us top-notch journalists who are giving us points of view about the world and about our country. And oftentimes they're things that we haven't even thought about and that we need to be thinking about. That's a hard one because my favorite radio programs are really broken into local and national. Locally, Fiesta with Emily Guerra every night during the week, and nationally, Terry Gross. I support KRWG because I want to hear both sides of issues. I want to know what's happening nationally and internationally, and I like to learn something new every day. If you're watching right now and you've never donated at KRWG, this is the time to do it. You obviously are enjoying and appreciating the programming that they bring to you.
I'm Fred Martino. Email us your story ideas. The address is feedback@nmsu.edu. KRWG, TV, radio, online, news that matters.
Local support for a portion of today's programming is provided by Wells Fargo. Our support of Aggie students goes beyond just banking. By supporting NEWS22, we're giving back to the community. Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far.
That will hit New Mexico.
And Las Cruces Parks are up for a grant, and you can help them get it.
Find out how on NEWS22 Wednesday.
Serving southern New Mexico, this is the award-winning KRWG-TV NEWS22, where news matters.
Good evening, I'm Mike Vigil.
And I'm Jessica Navarez.
Students here on the NMSU campus have a big decision to make.
They're faced with choosing the next student body president. The candidates for president and other office engaged in an open platform debate today at Corbett Center. As with the state and national elections, they are too facing issues concerning money and budget cuts. And that's one of the main things students are worried about.
The biggest issues that I currently see is, one, the programs being cut at the university. I hope that the incoming president of NMSU does advocate for tuition increases to help offset the cuts that are coming at the state level.
It's important for people to understand that these are potentially people that will be handling large sums of money that affect the students. You know, these are the people and individuals that approve activities and events that are put on for the students. So I think everybody needs to be aware of who they're electing and the reasons why they're running.
Some of the candidates said students need to be more aware of where their money is going and how NMSU spends it. Elections will take place next week from April 3rd to the 7th. Some New Mexico high school seniors are waiting to see if Governor Martinez will sign a bill that will let them take a gap year and still qualify for the lottery scholarship. The legislature passed a bill to allow students to take a year off between high school and college and still be eligible for the money. If the governor does not sign it in the next couple of weeks, it will automatically be vetoed and the system will stay the same. This so-called gap year bill was sponsored by Las Cruces State Senator Bill Souls, who says it's a priority for many NMSU students.
The New Mexico legislature and the governor are at loggerheads over the state budget. In the meantime, the state is running out of money. Governor Martinez says she won't sign any of the tax increases and will call lawmakers back to Santa Fe to renegotiate the $6.1 billion budget. She says the state is facing a crisis that might lead to a government shutdown and blames it on the legislator. She also imposed a statewide hiring freeze for non-crucial jobs. The state majority leader Peter Worth says the governor is jeopardizing the state's credit rating. The legislature's package had board support among Republicans and Democrats. There is some good financial news for New Mexico. The state will get the second largest tobacco settlement and the industry has ever paid. The state attorney general says New Mexico will get $50 million. The state will also receive an additional $14.5 million as a result of the court ruling. Attorney General Hector Balderas says the money should go to public education and health programs. The New Mexico legislature decides how to spend it.
The city of Las Cruces has an opportunity to win a $20,000 grant to improve or develop a park. The contest is sponsored by the National Recreation and Park Association. They're also collaborating with the Walt Disney Company. The city with the most nominations will get the grant money. You can nominate Las Cruces on the NRPA website. The winner will be announced at the end of April. The weather's been all over the place this week.
It has been crazy. One day it's sunny, next day it's raining. Selena, what can we expect as far as weather today?
Thanks, guys. Yeah, the weather has been pretty crazy these past couple days. Right now we're looking at partly cloudy skies with a temperature at 60 degrees. We have some winds at 9 miles per hour coming in from the southeast. Our humidity is at 33%, dew point at 36 degrees, and our barometer at 29.89 inches, and it's pretty steady. Today we reached a high of 67, which is below average. We should be around 74. Last night we had a low of 38 degrees, and we set record temperatures in 2015 with a high of 85 degrees and in 1972 with a low of 25, which is pretty chilly. We didn't see any rain today, so our rain does still stand at 2.14 inches. That's all I have right now for your weather. Now back to the desk for more news.
New Mexicans will soon be paying more to shop on Amazon. Starting April 1st, Amazon will start collecting state sales taxes nationwide. That means that Amazon will start collecting taxes on sales in 4 additional states. Those states are Maine, Hawaii, Idaho, and right here in New Mexico. There are still 4 states where Amazon doesn't charge taxes: Delaware, Montana, Oregon, and New Hampshire. That's because those 4 states don't have a sales tax law.
A favorite spot for local bookworms is getting some state and national love. Coaz Books was named the best bookstore in New Mexico by online lifestyle magazine RealSimple.com. Best of New Mexico also named Coaz as one of the 10 best in the state. Coaz has been family owned here in Las Cruces for more than 30 years. The store says they're grateful to serve the community.
I think it makes us feel really good about it. You know, we've been part of the community for a while.
You know, we have a pretty dedicated, loyal customer base, and you know, a lot of people that come in, you know, they're friendly, we know them, and you know, it just makes us feel really good to be able to, you know, serve the community and give them a place like this.
Pat Beckett opened Coaz Books in 1983. Now it has 2 locations and is run by Mike and Victoria Beckett.
2 New Mexico senators continue to speak out against President Donald Trump. Senator Martin Heinrich says he won't vote in favor of President Trump's decision to appoint Neil Gorsuch to the U.S. Supreme Court. He says it's because the Trump administration has not been honest with the American people. Senator Tom Udall also had words for Trump. He has vowed to fight his executive order to roll back climate change policy that was implemented under President Obama. He also said that New Mexico in particular is in danger when it comes to the effects of global warming. And President Trump says he is a world-class deal maker, but when it comes to Capitol Hill, he's learning deals don't come so easily.
Fresh off the Republican health care failure, Democrats are now threatening to derail Trump's Supreme Court pick. Scott McLean has more from Washington.
I think the losers are Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, because now they own Obamacare. They own it.
After being dealt a critical blow on health care by fellow Republicans, President Trump may need help from Democrats to advance his agenda.
If they got together with us and got a real health care bill, I'd be totally open to it, and I think that's going to happen.
Lately, Democrats are feeling triumphant.
It's a victory. What happened on the floor is a victory for the American people.
And with their improved bargaining position comes more leverage and the power to stand in the way.
It's going to be a real uphill climb for him to get those 60 votes.
Pressure is building from the liberal base to oppose the administration at every turn and push for a possible Democratic filibuster of Judge Neil Gorsuch's confirmation vote.
If a judge can't meet, a nominee can't meet the 60 vote standard, you don't change the rules. You change the standard.
A filibuster would force Republicans to use the nuclear option, changing the rules to require just 51 votes to confirm Gorsuch. Republicans seem ready to hit the red button.
No Supreme Court justice has ever been stopped with a partisan filibuster. We are optimistic that they will not be successful in keeping this good man from joining the Supreme Court very soon.
But Democrats up for re-election in red states may have to walk a fine line.
I'm still taking input from Montanans. I think this is one of the most important decisions a senator will make, and that's confirmation of a Supreme Court justice. But my decision will be coming soon.
The confirmation vote for Gorsuch is scheduled for next Friday. In Washington, I'm Scott McLean.
Trump is also facing opposition from environmentalists. The Sierra Club says the clean power plan Trump is trying to dismantle would have created thousands of jobs here in New Mexico. It would also have kept our air and water safe and reduced our global footprint. The club says the plan would have created economic, environmental, and public health benefits. And stay tuned, Selena will be back with your national forecast.
And later, we bring you a way to get fit way up in the sky. More on that when News 22 continues.
Hi, I'm Norma Vichot, Program Manager for KRWG. It's a brand new season and host Joseph Rosendo is headed on another journey. The new season of Joseph Rosendo's Travel Scope includes adventures to the Cook Islands in the Pacific, joining a parade of the medieval guilds during Zurich's festival, exploration of the stone figures on Easter Island, and the Amazon rainforest in Peru. Come scale new heights of adventure, natural splendor, and cultural richness this season. The travel adventure begins Sundays at 2 p.m. on KRWG.
KRWG's next coffee visit is in Silver City. Join us Wednesday, April 19th at Javelina Coffee House, 117 West Market Street, to share your thoughts about public radio, television, and online programming in the region. That's Wednesday morning, April 19th from 9 to 11 for the KRWG Coffee Visit at Javelina Coffee House in Silver City. We'll see you there.
And welcome back. You're watching News 22 Wednesday,
where news matters.
President Trump has assigned Chris Christie to help his administration battle the opioid epidemic. In New Mexico, nearly 500 people have died from opioid-related deaths since 2015. Doña County saw 38 people die since 2015. Since 1999, the opioid problem has more than quadrupled across the nation. From 2000 to 2015, more than 500,000 people died from opioid-related deaths. The Trump administration has declared addiction and treatment as top priorities.
Like all desert communities, Las Cruces constantly faces the challenges of providing water in the desert. And the city has a 40-year plan to make sure we use water wisely. The city wants your opinion on the plan. It's in the public comment phase until April 10th. You can submit public comments by email or bring your questions to the public meeting scheduled March 30th.
There's a hot new fitness trend that's a little unconventional compared to traditional workouts. It's called aerial fitness, and it involves hanging from the ceiling like a trapeze artist.
But if that sounds far-fetched to you, stay tuned because the Aerial Arts Studios have a technique that will allow you to get the benefits without the risk. Tamika Jones explains in today's Health Minute.
This is aerial fitness. You may or may not have heard about it, but it's one of the hot new fitness trends, and I'm a daredevil today, and I'm gonna take a stab at it. So let's do it.
A quick warm-up includes a few rounds of jumping jacks and high knees to get the blood flowing. Then we're ready for the silks.
Aerial fitness is actually a combination of a lot of hot fitness trends at the moment all blended into one class. So we do some elements of HIIT, some elements of ballet, bar, and then of course aerial work as well to strengthen and lengthen your core.
For some, the workout has other benefits.
Things like motor skills, I know that sounds kind of strange, but hand-eye coordination, confidence, dexterity in my hands, that's something as you get older that you start to lose, and that has helped a lot with gripping the silks and just continuing to work those muscles that we don't, get to exercise as regularly.
Safety has to be a top priority, especially when it comes to difficult routines.
Aerial fitness definitely has a component of women and women empowerment and strength, and you don't see that a lot of other different studios, so I think it's definitely like a sisterhood we have here.
Good job. Tamika Jones, CNN, Los Angeles.
Former Santa Fe County Sheriff's Deputy Ty Chan is scheduled to go on trial for murder for the second time on May 8th. Chan is charged with first-degree murder after he shot and killed his fellow deputy, 29-year-old Jeremy Martin, at the Hotel Encanto here in Las Cruces. The pair had been transporting a prisoner back to Arizona. Chan claimed that he shot Martin in self-defense. Chan's next court hearing is scheduled for April 28th. The family of a Las Cruces toddler killed in a house fire will be hosting a candlelight vigil tomorrow at 7:30 at the burned-out mobile home where the child died. The three-year-old Blaine Caballero died in the blaze earlier this week. The funeral will be held Friday at 11 a.m. at the Las Cruces First Assembly of God on Baton Memorial West. The cause of the fire has not been determined.
Starting this Sunday, kids will be able to watch their favorite PBS Kids shows on KRWG 24 hours a day. There will be an alternate channel added to television providers. A new website will also stream children's programs. It gives kids a chance to watch their favorite shows while their parents watch their own favorites. KRWG's Executive Director Glenn Cerny is looking forward to the move.
That KRWG and public television in general does is our children's programming, and we take a high responsibility to make sure that children entering the school systems have that early education. So for us, once the channel was announced by PBS, it was really a natural kind of move for us to go to 22.3 and add the 24-hour channel.
The shows can be streamed on krwg.org at any time for free. The effort is to support early learning in our community. And Selena's next with the weather.gov national forecast.
Thanks, guys. So we're going to go ahead and look at temperatures around the country right now. So up in Seattle, they're at a rainy 53 degrees. San Francisco at 65. We're looking at Phoenix at a sunny 86. And closer to home in El Paso, you're looking at 68 degrees. In Oklahoma City at 67. Cincinnati at 64. New Orleans at 80, and at the highest, Brownsville in Texas at high 90. If you go ahead and look at our next map, you can see that thunderstorms are going to be spreading into the Missouri Valley today into tomorrow. There's going to be damaging winds. They're going to expect to reach about 80 miles per hour, so it is going to be pretty scary. There's going to be threats for tornadoes. So you are going to want to, if you're traveling towards the area, or if you know people in the area, you're going to want to go ahead and warn them about it. If you go and look at our next map, you can see that in the northeast, winter is just not quitting. Places like Toronto and Albany are expecting a mix of snow and rain into Friday, and above that they're going to be expecting nothing pretty much but snow. So while we're experiencing some nice spring weather down here, they're still dealing with some pretty chilly temperatures. That's all I have right now for your national weather. I'll be back after the break with some more temperatures closer to home.
We'd like to thank the Sertoma Club of Las Cruces Service to Mankind for their $2,000 challenge grant and their support of KRWG.
On Masterpiece, when a man writes something, it's what he's written that's judged. When a woman writes something, it's her that's judged.
Of course, we're not going to use our real name. We must walk invisible.
I think you should tell Papa about Jane Eyre.
To Walk Invisible, the Bronte Sisters, on Masterpiece.
Thursday at 8 p.m. on KRWG TV.
Look for the phenomenal Gustavo Dudamel and the Los Angeles Philharmonic in a glorious tribute to composer John Williams, who wrote so many memorable movie scores.
Film cannot live without music.
And so much more. Join host Natalie Portman, Itzhak Perlman, and other special guests when Dudamel conducts a John Williams celebration with the LA Phil.
Thank you very much, John, for all you give to all of us.
On great performances.
Friday at 9:30 p.m. on KRWG TV.
Welcome back, everyone. We're going to look at current temperatures around New Mexico right now. Up in Farmington, we're at a fresh 61. Clovis at a pretty chilly 46. Ruidoso at 45. Roswell at 57. Here in Las Cruces at 60 and Deming at 65. Tomorrow, the highs are expected to be much higher than today, definitely. Farmington at 70. Albuquerque at 72 and Ruidoso at 65, Roswell at 83, here in Las Cruces at a warm 80, and in Deming at 79. So if you go ahead and look at Alamogordo for tonight, they're going to have some partly cloudy skies with a low of 41. Tomorrow, the clouds are going to still be here with a high of 76. In Truth or Consequences, they're going to have nothing but clear skies tonight with a low of 48 and a high tomorrow of 81. In Silver City, they're going to have some pretty cloudy skies tonight at a low of 34, but the clouds will clear out tomorrow with a high of 69. And here in Las Cruces, we're going to have some cloudy skies tonight with 54 degrees for the high, and some clear skies tomorrow with a high of 80. And that's all I have right now for your New Mexico temperatures. I'll be back after the newscast with your 5-day forecast. Now back to the desk for more news.
There are reports of damage after severe storms struck the Dallas-Fort Worth area overnight.
That's the first story in tonight's Southwest Minute.
This was the scene early this morning in Keller, Texas, after a night of storms. Sheds were overturned outside a Home Depot store. Officials there say power lines are down across the community. At least one highway was shut down. At one point, at least 250,000 people were without power. There are no reports of injuries. A man is in custody after police say he threw rocks and a Bible at a Colorado mosque. They arrested Joseph Scott Giaquinto Monday evening. Authorities say surveillance video caught him vandalizing the Islamic Center of Fort Collins, Colorado on Sunday. Giaquinto is charged with criminal mischief, third-degree trespass, and a bias-motivated crime. A woman is safe after climbing a construction crane and trying to hang herself in downtown Los Angeles yesterday. She locked herself inside the cab more than 100 feet above the ground. Police saw her tying a cord around her neck, but she climbed back up and unwrapped the cord. Rescuers climbed the ladder and brought the woman to safety. The entire ordeal lasted more than 2 hours. I'm Faith Shafani with the Southwest Minute.
The Aggie baseball team dropped a heartbreaker last night.
Sadly, they did, but Tanya Barba is here to give us a recap. Tanya, what happened?
Thanks, y'all. Coming up in sports, the men's basketball team will say goodbye to one of their own. And later, a Las Cruces coach is still celebrating. Don't change to ESPN just yet because NEWS22 Sports is next.
From the legendary Hollywood Bowl, the dynamic Gustavo Dudamel and the Los Angeles Philharmonic dance many a symphonic tango. Authentic Argentinian tangos. It's the dance, the sound, the feeling, and so much more. Join us when Dudamel conducts
a tango night.
Tangos Under the Stars with the LA Phil on Great Performances.
Friday at 8 p.m. on KRWG TV.
Coming up on Austin City Limits.
Saturday at 9 p.m. on KRWG TV.
This is KRWG TV News 22 Sports.
Welcome back. I'm Tanya Barba, and let's swing into sports. The Aggie baseball team just couldn't hold it together last night against I-25 rivals, the UNM Lobos, as they fell 5-3. The game opened up with little offense as the first 2 innings were scoreless. It wouldn't be until the bottom of the third where Aggie Austin Botello roped a 2-out double to left field, in which brought Joey Ortiz to score the first run of the game. Dan Hetzel would then knock a double to center, allowing Botello to cross the plate as NM State led 2-0. But NM State will now head back on the road as they will travel to WAC conference play and play Seattle U in a 3-game series this weekend. First pitch is set for 6 p.m. And NM State center Tanvir Bular will be moving on from the Aggie basketball program to seek other opportunities as a graduate transfer or play professionally, as announced by head coach Paul Weir. The Ontario, Canada native eased his way into the rotation late in the season. He made 22 appearances in the 2016-2017 season and averaged 2.7 points and 2.3 rebounds with a .522 shooting clip. In 3 seasons, Bular accumulated 260 career points and 232 rebounds with a .566 shooting clip in 66 appearances. He also finished with 29 assists, 26 blocks, and 7 assists in his Aggie career. And the Las Cruces High baseball team has won lots of games over the years, and most of those wins have come under the leadership of its head coach. As Blas Maestas reports, that coach has reached an impressive milestone.
Gil Padilla has coached the Bulldogs since 1999, and he has passed the 300 win mark. He got that win on March 21st against Cobre. Well, he loves to win. To him, that's not the most important part of the game.
Played baseball for New Mexico State, and I've always had a passion of being around the game. And once my career was over, it was time for me to give back to the game. And one way I could do that is by getting into coaching, and I just love it.
Even from a young age, he loved the sport.
Since I was 5 years old, I played baseball or either coached it every year in and year out.
And while others knew the 300 win mark was on the way, it took him a little bit by surprise.
Brought to my attention that I think it was like 3 games into our season of my 18th year that I was 8 wins away from 300.
Last night, Coach led his squad against the Deming Wildcats. Coach Padilla is hoping to continue his winning tradition as the Bulldogs are up 8-2 in the 4th inning. And at the end of the night, Coach Padilla would get win number 303 as the Dogs beat Deming 14-5. But of course, Coach just loves the game. For News 22 Sports, I'm Blas Maestas.
And tonight's play of the day is brought to you by last night's Pistons and Heat's game. Y'all enjoy. More sports action tomorrow. Still ahead, Selena will be back to take a look at your 5-day forecast. But first, there will be one less color in the world. Find out why when News 22 continues.
Missing something?
You're back. Barbara!
Your favourite midwives are here, and a new season delivers new faces and new rules.
I'm sorry, but the traditional half-hourly timings worked well enough. But is well enough good enough, Mrs. Turner?
Sunday at 7 p.m. on KRWG TV.
Master Cromwell, a man of many talents.
He comes from nothing.
A ruffian.
It's as if he's the one in charge.
You think you are the king?
I'm warning you, those who've been made can be unmade.
I entirely agree.
Sunday at 9 p.m. on KRWG TV.
Yosemite is natural beauty on a grand scale.
Over 3,000 years, think of what a giant sequoia has seen.
But as the climate changes, this iconic park may change with it.
Sunday at 11 p.m. on KRWG TV.
And welcome back. Let's take a look at our top stories. Coas Bookstore has been named the best bookstore in the state by online magazine RealSimple.com. Las Cruces Parks are in a contest to win a $20,000 grant. To help them out, go to the website nrpa.com. And the city has rolled out its 40-year water-saving plan. The public can comment on the issue at a meeting on March 30th.
The current colors that make up a Crayola box include the primary colors. Also unique colors like carnation pink, blue, violet, and violet red. Crayola isn't actually saying which color is saying farewell until the end of the week, but the company will live stream its decision this Friday on National Crayon Day.
So the weather's been all over the place, but what can we expect for next week?
Well,
Crazy.
if you go ahead and look at our 5-day forecast, temperatures are going to drop into 65 and get higher at 77 on Monday, but that's pretty much it. So
That's all for NEWS22 Tuesday. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Local support for a portion of today's programming is provided by Wells Fargo. Our support of Aggie students goes beyond just banking. By supporting NEWS22, we're giving back to the community. Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far.
911, what's the location of your emergency? There's a shooting at St. Elementary School.
After a devastating tragedy,
How do you grieve for 26 people all at the same time?
a community finds strength and resiliency.
We're not going to let the darkness overwhelm us.
Newtown.
Monday at 8 p.m. on KRWG TV.
Each week, join Charlie Rose for a recap of the week's biggest stories with in-depth analysis and fresh perspectives.
I'm asking.
Enjoy lively interviews with top newsmakers. All this and more on Charlie Rose the Week.
Friday at 7:30 p.m. on KRWG TV.
This is KRWG Las Cruces, serving the entire region thanks to your support. Become a member anytime at krwg.org.
Telecast of Nature on KRWG TV is provided with local support from
Sierra Vista Growers, your regional resource for locally grown trees, shrubs, perennials, and xeriscape plants. Sierra Vista Growers, located at 2800 Highway 28 in La Union, New Mexico, helps conserve our water resources by providing a diverse selection of southwestern plants for the home, garden, or yard. That's Sierra Vista Growers.